Hi, we're Dreamstay and we're doing a track by track of our album Primrose Path.
That was one of the ones that took the longest to finish.
Yeah, we started writing that one ages ago.
Yeah, and it was the last one to fully to be completed, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember I wanted to write a song it was intended to be the first track of the album anyway, so I remember jumping up and down, going counting at BPM, so I wanted the first track to for people to jump up and down to. So
that's how he works, yeah.
It's like 138 BPM or something like that. So I'm gonna write a track to this tempo, and then that's how it started. Because
we put ourselves in a bit of box to start with the pressure of the first EP. We were a bit like, it needs to be a certain way, but once we brought those restraints down and we just kind of flowed naturally and didn't go against the grain, it just started to write itself. We wanted a song that kind of pumped that kind of feel, the jumping feel, And lyrically for me, I just needed to, it was cathartic, just a kind of point in my life where I had a mini existential crisis, and the walls come down and the blinds come up in a way in the mind, and Are You Ready to Live? The whole album is pretty much a walk through kind of the mind of someone myself, kind of just reaching in a lot, and Are You Ready to Live was just kind of, I'm talking lyrically now, you talk about from the songs from the start?
Talk about wherever you want.
Yeah, you're right, you have said that. I mean, how was it musically?
Started off very, very differently. It was a lot heavier in its first form. It had a massive breakdown in the middle of it.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
It was a bit more sadder musically, I think. Well, nah, this is too sad. Let's try and
I wanted to put more hope into it, didn't I?
Yeah, so just changing little bits here and then, it kind of gave it a whole new life, and I started to like it again then.
Yeah, and lyrically for me, it was just about coming to a point in my life where I was identifying with suffering too much, and it's kind of like that kick up the arse to myself and my subconscious and to some people around me that were suffering bad, and it was just like, I need to find the things I love and let those things kill me, and stop focusing on so much of the darkness. So it was about getting ready to live for a change. Oh, that was musically annoying for us, wasn't it? Because it was a bit of a rush, especially in the studio.
I thought it was alright, kind of.
We wanted more time with it though, didn't we?
I remember writing it really quick. I remember just wrote in 2 days kind of thing.
No, musically, you wrote a draft in 2 days.
Fine. The first draft of Hand in Hand.
Drastically.
It didn't change that much.
It did in the studio. We went to the studio and the whole thing changed. It did with Dan. We sat for the whole day. We
spent a whole day with Dan Weller, kind of just
restructuring and producing it. But that one came was one of the quickest ones to kind of.
Yeah, I just remember writing it with the intention of let's just get a fun bounce single out there. And
I wouldn't call it lyrically it's not really fun and.
Musically, I'm on about.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does have a little bit of those hooks in there, but lyrically again, I've gone into the self. It kind of focuses around the topic of depression, which is something that I struggled with from a very young age, and it was just kind of, I've made it through the light, and we're all in our way suffering in our own way, and we're all fighting for our lives every definite time. To live is to suffer. But it was I wanted to give some hope to the audience and to our listeners, so it's not all doom and gloom. You can kind of get through it, just gotta find meaning in the suffering.
Straya.
Yeah, the one we just released.
I still don't know the proper names to them. I still kind
Straya, this is the demo name. I still
refer to it as the demo
It got finished in Australia, didn't it?
Yeah, I wrote most of it whilst we were out in Australia, so I just call it Straya.
That's his input on the song now.
I don't know, just what inspired me to write that? I can't remember.
It's just we wanted something a bit more, because we were touching on new kind of sounds with adding electronics. We did want to make sure we are sticking to the roots, so we wanted a song that was just rock, wasn't it?
Riffy.
Bit of Architects influence as well. We were listening to
that's it's a riffier, heavier song on the album.
Yeah, and I felt lyrically it was just maddening around that time for us. We were flat out going for it. I had all these people with their issues in their lives all coming at me as well as my own ones, and then I just had to exercise some demons with that one.
If we weren't intended for it to be a single at first when we were writing, were we?
Oh, we don't. Well,
I know we tried to write for
every song to be a single,
but I remember writing This is cool.
Yeah, it took me a long time to kind of gel with it, but that's because, yeah, we had to restructure quite a lot of it during the recording process. So, but, yeah, 20 Letters. I love that chorus. We've had that since writing the EP.
It's older than New Waves.
Yeah.
Most of that song.
Yeah, it had just been there, and I said we got to use it. I was like, that chorus, it just swings and dances, and it's so kind of ethereal sounding. I was like, we got to have it.
Pretty sure the lead guitar bits for New Waves were on 20 Letters originally, I think.
Yeah.
And I just took it off and put on that one instead because I was too lazy to write something new.
Yeah. Never throw music away, honestly. You can
recycle it and it still sounds good.
Yeah, we've already written the whole album. Just old demos. Next one. But yeah, I mean, I love 20 Letters. That was like, I mean, lyrically enlightening for me, just because it's that, I lost that need to want to, give up on life finally. Even though you kind of have these lulls still, like, I generally do want to live. And I like life. I don't want to run from it anymore. I want to face it head on. And it was about just not letting darkness kind of break you or destroy you, but letting it make you, and just like, yeah, just not being a crybaby about it anymore, and just being a bit stronger in myself. So it's been like
that one. Can I swear?
Yeah.
That was called Thunderfuck, wasn't it?
Oh, they know now. It's out there.
Yeah, 'cause I wrote that whilst we were out in Australia as well.
Yeah, we wanted that like pop punky.
I wanted like a New Waves was the pop song of the EP, so like we haven't got a pop song for the album yet, so I thought let's try.
Kind of pop in it.
So it's kind of got a poppy
I think
chorus.
sound like Lady Gaga in it. Like,
yeah, you do sound like Lady Gaga.
I do. It's weird. We wanted like a pop punky song.
Yeah, I wanted a pop punky song. So it's got like a bit of pop punk vibes. Still sounds like us.
Yeah, and Lady Gaga apparently. And yeah, that was one of the ones that we wrote in Australia.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a personal one for me. That was about like me understanding my shadow self. We all have these dark aspects in our personality. It's important that we look at ourselves first. And there was a time in my personal relationships so I wasn't being very truthful to the ones I love, and I was spitting lies and hiding things, and it wasn't very nice. But to be real, it's not always black and white, and there was a bigger picture to it all. And yeah, it's all about being open and honest, I think, and that's what we're trying to practice with the album, is being open and honest and not being afraid of that. So yeah, Out of the Blue. This is about all the stress of this stuff. No, I'm joking.
That's Code Blue, isn't it? No.
Oh, he doesn't know the freaking name.
I don't know the real names yet.
I don't know what it was called before.
It's Reese the song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Reese wrote this one.
Yeah.
I
can't remember what it was really called. You know the song anyway. Oh, so you can't really describe a lot of the writing. This is
Reese wrote it. That's all I can say.
Khaled just sat there and was like, yeah, that'll do. That's fine.
It's cool though. It's really cool.
Yeah, I loved it. That was different for me because we've trying to push the boundaries there in with rhythms, kind of writing.
Yeah, it's a lot more technical than
Yeah, I sat with Reese a few times during it, and he obviously getting feedback, and it was. I was like, yeah, let's go with it. Like, our album should not just be one sound. There should be no limits, no restrictions. We should, because the second you go against the grain, it's going against who you are as a musician when you box yourself in, and it like we first did. But yeah, Out of the Blue is sick. It was about all the stress we'd all felt with touring, and band work in itself, and just not having enough time to live, and and the pressure from our families and the ones we love, that would, like, girlfriends and families, we never see you all the time, and it's like, we're not just doing this for ourselves, we're doing it for all of us involved. This is a big team. But yeah, Reese and I decided we wanted to kind of write a song about the stresses of that side of life. It's not.
Did you write the lyrics right in the studio as well?
Yeah, it was one of the last ones to get written because of the album process was really stressful, guys. It didn't stop. We didn't have any reflection time either, did we? Fuck no.
It's fun.
No.
I enjoyed it.
I look back and I'm like, oh, yeah. I love it though. It's still my baby. But Out of the Blue is just about, like, not being able to keep up with the pace of life and just the responsibilities that come with it. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't hear lyrics in songs, so I have no idea what some of our songs
half the time you're like, is this all meaningless? Is it pointless? Or should I just be like a monkey just sat in a tree right now, just chilling? Anyway, yeah, that's out the blue. I know there's more to it than that, but my brain's shutting down. Help me. So yeah, you wrote. Yeah. See now.
I wrote this song ages ago. I thought I wanted a slow, chill down, slow song that gradually builds up to like a really cool ending. And you hated it. And you're so stubborn. Once you hate something, you hate it forever. And then it came to the point where...
You have to convince me, otherwise.
No? It was like, okay, Shah don't like it. Reese, you sing it.
That's not how it went at all.
Pretty much.
I couldn't write it for ages. I was just like, it's just not for me. And I was working with a producer, Dan, and he was like, Charlotte, you piss melodies. This is probably the song that's broken. I was like, it's not for me. Reese was going through a hard time at that time, and I was like, I want, us to show off the skill set of the band. Reese has an amazing regal voice. Let's show it off. And he's got something to talk about. Let's give him a song. And it worked really well. And then we decided to duet it halfway through, and it was
And now you really like it.
Yes, now I like it. They have to sell me on it, okay? But that song was just dealing about with kind of issues around grief, not just of a loved one, but just of Primrose. Okay. Musically, that was a fun one, wasn't it?
You went in and out of phases of liking it and hating it because of the synthy stuff in it.
It was hard. It's hard to change and jump.
Change is
move
good.
Into news. It is good. You should always move into what's uncomfortable. But
it was I thought it was quite a quick one to write. I remember I took a week off work to play Pokemon Go and write a few songs. I remember I wrote it in one afternoon.
It doesn't work as easy as you say.
No.
He'll write something, then I'll come in and devour it.
The early draft was I'll write that in an afternoon.
Yeah, you get the basis of it down there, don't you?
I remember playing on my little keyboard, a little rock band keyboard thing. This is pretty cool.
Because it's just obviously Primrose Path represents someone who's in the pursuit of pleasure, despite the negative results that will probably unlikely follow, which is me all over. I think everyone is guilty of it, of any form of overindulgence, and whether it can be drugs or alcohol or technology or things that are just bad for your health, that we're all guilty of doing. So it was kind of like it just kind of suited it. And Primrose was the heart of really realistically when we all talk about the music of Dream State and stuff, and with me being open and honest, it's the root of all my problems. So of course it was gonna be the album title 100%. So it just took from that, because the primrose kind of represented for me the flower self, ever growing, ever evolving, but not exactly perfect. And it just felt right. It just suited it, because that's the heart of it. It's the heart of all the, someone that walks the path of madness like me, always, deliberately. It's just it makes sense. I feel it too.
This is one of my favorite ones in the album. I remember
it was too honest to be a single, apparently. It's true.
I think it's the most experimental song on the album. I think it's got a lot of different things kind of going on, and there's a lot of electronic stuff on there.
Yeah, because
quite long as well. The middle section is
dragged
out so long. It's really cool and ambient, and
I was loving all the dark pop synth stuff. I was listening to a lot of Billie Eilish at the time, and I was working close with Dan, and I was like, I want it to be kind of dark pop at the beginning and have that real kind of heavy, sad feel, but you want to feel like this is the way I write music. You want to be jumping up and down, and you want to be dragged along the floor somehow. Imagine being dragged along the floor. Describe that musically and get that in a sound.
I'm picturing
dirty synth.
Sparkles and shit falling off the ceiling. The last chorus.
Yeah. But obviously, it's my most candid work to date, I'm gonna say, and it weighs heavy on the heart. It's probably the root of all pain. But not something, I do want the listener to take what they can from it. But it's a personal one. I think it speaks for itself, so I advise you guys to have a listen and take from it what you want, to be honest.